Hello, what's up guys and gals? Eagleblade here to bring you my second reaction video to the Mandalorian series. This is for episode 2 of the show. I've already done episode for episode 1 if you're watching just for the first time, so you can go back and watch that first one if you're interested. But this is sort of just me with my thoughts and sort of rant about it, just off the top of my head, unscripted. And so there will be spoilers for the series. Duh, so just forewarned. But, okay. So let's just dive into a breakdown of this episode. So basically, it leaves right off where we left off, where the Mandalorian is taking the Yoda child back to his ship, and the opening moments of that are like these silent, great visual shots. Like, definitely it's something that people might not like because it's like very just eerie and devoid of any sort of dialogue or anything. So that some people might not like, but then after that we get into some good action. We see that Jawas have scavenged his ship and taking things apart. So the Mandalorian, he takes out his rifle and just goes boom, 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 just blasting them, and he actually uses the bandoliers, like this little individual blaster bolt things, like the ones I have on my belt, something like this, to, sort of pick off the Jawas. So that was sort of nice to see that his equipment was actually used for function rather than just for show, because a lot of times in movies you see people, they have like all this equipment, and they don't use it, so it's nice to kind of see that. Hold on a second. Yeah. Put on. So, yeah, that was nice. We got a cool action sequence of him chasing the Jawas, Sandcrawler, him just getting every living butt kicked out of him as the Jawas are just throwing trash at him and all that. And I bet during that moment he was thinking, I really wish I had a jetpack. I really wish I had a jetpack. So, cool moment, some good action. And then he ends up having to go to the one guy that he went to in the first episode, and they work out a deal with the Jawas. And then but the moment when they're meeting up with the Jawas is one of my most favorite lines of the series so far. It's like the guy's like telling him, yeah, you should lower your weapon, and like Mandalorian's like, I'm a Mandalorian. Weapons are my religion, pretty much. So that was definitely one of the best lines of the series. So good. I'm just gonna readjust my camera here a little bit so that we can get more sexy shot footage of this armor. Yeah. So that was really awesome. And then you get another cool action scene of him fighting. I'm sorry, I know I might get some back for this, but I don't know the name of the creature off the top of my head. We have to look it up on Wikipedia. But he fights that one lizard bull creature that Anakin fights in episode 2 of Attack of the Clones, which spelled doom for Jango Fett. So that was kind of cool to see him kind of fight this thing one-on-one, because that fight was just another fight where the Mandalorian, he really gets his shell kicked hard in that fight. Like, his armor is all mangled and he's just covered in mud and all that. So I really like how they're making him someone who he has his butt kicked. He's someone that isn't like this invincible hero. He isn't like, he has this cool armor, but it's not like Iron Man armor where he just, can destroy anyone he wants, or he isn't just instantly superior to everyone. No, he's gotten injured and gotten his armor dented and stuff like that. So the fight with the bull creature was a lot of fun to watch. And then let's actually side note, let's go back a little bit to the Yoda baby creature, because we do get to see, because in that walking scene to his ship, we do see some cool interaction with the baby. Like the baby getting out of the the hover baby carriage or whatever you want to call it, while the Mandalorian, he's doing some intending to do an injury on his arm, and you get to see some cool kind of cute moments with the baby Yoda creature. And if there was any question to whether this creature was force sensitive, that was answered in this episode. The baby is definitely force sensitive. he lifts the bull creature with the Force to save the Mandalorian's life. So we're not really sure what that will mean and impact Star Wars Galaxy as a whole. Sort of watching this, I'm sort of thinking when Yoda said there's another in Empire, it sort of makes you think, well, obviously George Lucas at the time meant for that to be a reference to Leia, but it's kind of making me think, did Yoda know about the existence of this child? You know, this child's 50 years old, then maybe Yoda knew about it, or there's just a lot of mystery and a lot of unknown, and so the baby creature lifts the bull creature with the Force, allowing the Mandalorian to stab it with his knife, and that was kind of a cool sequence, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, baby doing that, granted this baby's 50 years old, it's just one of those things where I'm kind of like, I'm kind of on the fence about, because I don't really like OP, over-the-top Force users anymore, like, at least not without any training. Like, I didn't like how Rey could just automatically do mind tricks and would automatically master lightsaber duelist after never holding one. So if I'm criticizing Force Awakens The Last Jedi for that, I have to also criticize it in the Mandalorian when you see an OP Force user who's just basically an infant. Though we have seen before in some other lore of Force users, untrained Force users doing things like that. Like, I think in Clone Wars Ventress, she forced, in the flashback when she was a child, she force shoved a pirate, you know, and then Darth Bane, the Darth Bane duology books, he, flashbacks, realizes that he killed his father with the Force in a fit of rage without even knowing it. And I think it's now canon, this was always my head theory too, that Leia tapped into the dark side of the Force to help kill Jabba in Return of the Jedi. So there is some precedent in the lore for untrained Force users to use the Force like that. So I think if it was more just a spur of the moment reaction thing, it's something like levitation, not something that I feel like something like a mind trick. That's something that I feel like needs to be trained, while Force telekinesis lift made it something that in the spur of the moment Force user can just react and do. And we don't know how strong Yoda's race is either, so we don't know how aware this child is. Child's 50 years old again, so maybe the child's a lot more intelligent than we're led to believe, you know? Who knows, maybe the child's even playing cute and innocent to kind of defend itself, you know? So, but then, like, after the bull creature's defeated, the Mandalorian takes the creature's egg, gives it to Jawa, which the Jawas just devour. Yeah, kind of goopy, gross mess, which is, there's like kind of a funny sort of part to it all. Yeah, so I found that part to be really cool and interesting. And then he offers the guy and a crew to be a crew on a ship after they patch it up, and guy's like, nope. So obviously it shows that the Mandalorian, he can actually talk. He isn't just a suit of armor that's walking around doing stuff. No, he does seem to have a good heart and personality. He's not a stoic loner like, oh, I don't want to be around people. No, he's just not someone that's gonna be talking to himself, or someone that is gonna be, you know, just whining all the time and giving wisecracks. That's not his personality. So yeah, I feel like we are starting to get to know him a little bit more, and definitely this episode was a little bit slow, in my opinion. You know, we got some good action. We're still very much in the early stages of the plot, so I really feel like that this series is gonna feel more like a drawn out movie than a proper TV series. From what I'm getting from their pacing, we still haven't really been introduced to some of the other characters teased in the trailer, so, you know, I feel like the next episode on Friday will definitely be where things will really heat up, I think, where when the Mandalorian finally does drop off the Yoda child, whether I'm assuming he's gonna take the child, and if he does go to the Empire, you know, what's gonna happen, so definitely some cool moments. Some stuff that I was like kind of on the fence about. Some stuff I really liked. So I'm willing to see where this takes me. And so this is it. If you guys like this video, remember to drop a thumbs up. It really helped me. And let me know what you thought of it. I want to hear what you thought. What were your favorite parts, or what did you like or didn't like? Let's keep a discussion and debate. Let's try to make sure that we discuss this thing so that way we can hold Lucasfilm accountable and make Star Wars the best it can be. So this is Eagle Blade signing off, saying good luck. Always keep a blade and blaster handy, and I will see you guys in the next video.